like a lot of people have been promoting saunas for longevity. Do you feel that saunas overall may actually decrease their overall lifespan, or do you feel like they have no effect? Most people who sauna every day are also exercising most days. They're also eating well. They're just, health conscious people. Overall, Kevin, like, do you feel that there are benefits to longevity for sauna? And if not longevity benefits, are there any benefits in general?
I definitely think there are some benefits in general, and then there's also some specific harms apart from longevity. It's unclear what sauna does for longevity. There's several pieces of evidence that I would cite for this. So the first is the piece of evidence often used by Rhonda Patrick and then Huberman. It's actually a series of studies coming out of Finland, epidemiological studies looking at people, as you're pointing out, looking at people who do a sauna a certain number of times a week, and then seeing, okay, of the people who do sauna more often, do they have a lower risk of sudden cardiac death? Do they have a low risk of Alzheimer's disease? Do they have a lower risk of et cetera, et cetera? And then they see that there's a dose response relationship where the more you do sauna, the lower your risk of these and the higher the lifespan. The problem with this kind of study is that it's an observational study, as you know, Mike. So specifically, as you pointed out, sort of a healthy user effect, where people who are healthy are using sauna more often. They're living longer because they're healthy, not living longer because of sauna. But there's actually another really important problem with the study, which is that many of the effects shown in the first set of studies, especially the one in JAMA Internal Medicine, they had a bunch of supplementary analyses that they published along with the paper. One of the analyses in the supplement actually shows that if you don't have hypertension, you don't see the effect. If you have hypertension, you do. If you have a cardiovascular disease, then you see a benefit. If you don't have it, then you don't see it. What does that mean? It's not so much that the sauna is making people healthy, but the health of the people is making them or is allowing them to use the sauna more often. And that's the interpretation that I have. So again, but we don't have the actual sauna studies in mice. We don't actually have like, okay, did I subject these mice like every other day to a sauna-like condition? We can't actually say that acute intermittent exposures necessarily shorten the lifespan, but we have all these different pieces of indirect evidence, plus the question of whether there's actually a real longevity benefit. Maybe this whole sauna story, especially with respect to heat shock proteins, isn't as strong as we once thought. That said, there are some benefits to sauna. It does lower blood pressure. So if you go to a sauna on a consistent basis, your blood pressure is going to be significantly low. But of course, this reduction in blood pressure is not like huge. It shouldn't cause like a massive benefit.